Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to D-Ray's shop. It's going to be our final video in the series on our '84 ATC200S. I'll show you guys how to adjust the clutch and show you a couple little things on the brakes and adjusting the drive chain. Now, a lot of y'all thinking, well, now wait a minute, now this is a 200S. This thing has an automatic clutch. There's nothing to adjust there, you know. Well, you're partially right. It does have a centrifugal clutch that doesn't require any adjustment at all. But it also has a second clutch that's much like a regular clutch on a manual clutch style motorcycle or ATV. Now what that clutch does, it actually works in conjunction with the shift pedal. So anytime you push down on the shift pedal or pull up on it, before it actually changes gears, it disengages that secondary clutch. Now it's real important that you have the adjustment on that just like it's supposed to be, because if it's too tight, obviously it'll slip. If it's too loose, the clutch doesn't actually disengage and it just bangs itself through the gears, which can be hard on the transmission. The adjustment for this clutch is very simple to do and it's very easy to check. Now, I'll show you guys how to do it. We'll get her done. So let's get started. Now, checking your clutch adjustment on this machine is very easy to do. What we're going to do is we're going to check the amount of free play that we have on the shift lever, because that's what controls the clutch. Now, before we get started into checking the amount of free play on it, one thing you want to be sure of is you want to make sure that the shifter is actually tight on the shifter shaft, because if this shifter is a little bit loose, then you're going to kind of get a false impression of how much free play you got, because you're actually going to be feeling slack on the end of the shifter rod. So be sure this is tight and this has no slack in it. Then all you got to do is you just simply pick up or push down on that shifter. And as you can see, this one doesn't really want to move at all. It has practically no free play on it. So that means our clutch is too tight. Now, to adjust this clutch, the clutch adjuster is actually on the other side of the motor where the clutch pack is. So we'll move over to the other side and I'll show you how to adjust it. Now, our clutch adjuster is going to be located on the right side of the engine, right by the dipstick. It's going to be this 14mm jam nut with a little flathead screw on it. Now, the way we adjust that is you take your 14mm wrench and a screwdriver, break that jam nut loose and back it off. Now, just take the screwdriver and turn the screw to the right until you feel free play. All right? Now, if we turn it back counterclockwise, you're going to feel it just kind of lightly seat. At that point, you have zero clearance on the clutch. So what we want to do is we want to add a little clearance to it. So as you turn the screw to the right, that's going to increase your free play. So from a lightly seated position, turn it exactly 1/4 of a turn. Then hold that jam screw in place, jam the nut down on it, and that should have it in proper tension. And then we'll check it again on the shifter and verify the amount of free play. And as you can see here, now we have free play on the shift lever. And that puts it in proper adjustment. That's all there is to it. Now I'm going to lubricate and adjust the drive chain. This thing has a couple of rubber plugs located on the chain case. There's a big one right here on the side that you use to check your chain adjustment. Our chain's a little loose there. Then you have a lubrication plug right here on the top. So I'm going to pop that out. Got my old Maxima chain wax here. So I'll give that chain a good lubricating and then we'll adjust it. Now I've got that chain limbered up real good with the chain loop. You can see that it's so loose that it's actually slapping the top of the case there. So we're going to take a little of that slack out of there. When it's adjusted properly, it should have about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of free play on it. So to take that slack out of that chain, what we're going to do, we're going to loosen off the hardware that holds the entire axle assembly in the frame. There's 4 big 17mm headed bolts. There's one here, one up here, one down this corner, one over here. Now this one down here also has this 12mm nut on an adjuster. That's the one that's actually going to pull the rear axle toward the back and take the slack out of the chain. So loosen all the bolts off, tighten down this 12mm nut while you check the drive slack until you get your chain adjustment like you want it, and tighten everything back down. There we go. Now we got our chain at proper tension.